Well, good morning. Just back from a little joggette. Dill's gone in. We did a mile together, Dylan and I, and then I dropped him off and did a mile on my own. It was nice. It was good to get out. Still feeling the effects a little bit, but I'm back and I wanted to share something with you. I had the great privilege, honour really, of a guy who was a fellow director of the leadership business I first joined when I left the army way back in 2004. Leading Initiatives Worldwide, as it was called then, and various iterations and life changes and so on. But Greg Giuliano was the American director of that business. Did loads of work together out there and over here. We did all our coach training together, and that's the story I wanted to tell you. A bit exposing, but I told it when he, the great honour really, asked me to write the foreword to his latest book, Coaching for a Change. And he wanted to bring to life, and has brought to life, the power of coaching in your armoury as a leader. Of course, there are moments where directive leadership is appropriate and giving clarity, but where you can, using the coaching approach in order to empower your people, to engage them, truly to engage their brains, to get them to do some thinking rather than telling them what to do all the time. A very hard shift to make when we've had a life of either being told what to do as we grew up at school, at home, at school, in work initially, and then when we became parents and when we either became teachers or when we became bosses at work. Too much of the tell approach, and never really truly engaging the person who you want to think for themselves. And he's written this brilliant book, and when it comes out, he gave me the privilege of writing the foreword for it, and gave me some magic feedback when I sent him. Part of it was about obviously that empowering, engaging part, but the other part was a real story where during our coach training, we were doing triad work, myself, Alan Bristow and Greg, Alan observing, Greg coaching me. And he absolutely nailed me with a question, which was a liberation in the end. And what he said was, "So Farron, what are you doing it all for?" And my God, I was, recently out of the army, didn't have a job to go to, had 2 adopted children, had a house, had to pay a mortgage, had to try and earn a living, try to get these 2 kids through private education. They didn't survive in the state sector. And I really was working my socks off, working really hard. But when he asked me that question, I said, and I was welling up and I was nearly crying, and soon after I was, and so was he, and so was Alan. I said, I'm doing it to make my mum proud. My great mother, who brought up 3 kids on her own, went through a very tough time leaving Ireland in the 40s, but did 4 jobs at one time, tried to get us through school to, I was thinking about school uniform that was coming out in the media this morning. My God, some of the rubbish I wore at school, but my mum got tired of buying the purple blazers when I was getting them ripped off at school with fighting every day. But anyway, cut the long story short, I'm doing it to make my mum proud. I'm welling up, I'm upset. Greg says, "Don't you get it, Farron?" I said, What? He said, "She's already proud of you." That was a moment in time. That was an utter release. That was a sort of weight off my shoulders. That was a liberation. I thought, God, yeah. I mean, there's many times through my life I wasn't even proud of myself. So there's no reason why I should have been proud of me when I did some stupid stuff, some self-destructive stuff. But my God, for a number of years and all the time I'd worked on myself, particularly almost since leaving the army, I thought, well, she would be proud of me. I'm a good man. I try to be a good man, and I continue to try to do that. And that liberation was so fantastic as we all cried. But Greg, saw that, he recognised that, and he had the instinct to liberate me, if you like. And when I told that story as part of the foreword to his latest book, he sent me the most amazing feedback. And I just want to share that because I wonder, as we come to the Olympics this week, a moment in time where actually every 4 years we're inspired by these incredible athletes and Paralympic athletes who do this amazing stuff, commit their lives, who sacrifice everything else to have a goal and go after it and go after it and go after it. And they're inspiring. And who inspired them and who believed in them? And how can we do that as parents, as friends, as people who love each other and care about each other? How do we inspire others? How do we liberate them? What are the questions we can ask? How do we set ourselves up for amazing success and happiness? And giving a bit of kindness and compassion in amongst it. I hope you can take some inspiration from that little story. Take care. And when Greg's book comes out, I'll certainly send you the link. Take care. Have a great week and happy Olympics.